A ocelot stretches in the understory, yawning to reveal sharp teeth before beginning its evening patrol. This small cat moves like liquid shadow, absolutely silent, absolutely focused. It's not hunting yet, just walking its territory, marking boundaries, existing in the space between day and night where it thrives. The alpha leads the troop toward their sleeping site, a massive ceiba tree they've used for generations. The route is familiar, safe, chosen for defensibility and comfort. Youngsters who lagged during the day press close to mothers now, instinct telling them that gathering darkness means gathering together. A toucan settles into its roosting hole, its massive bill held along its back to fit within the cavity. The bird's eyes close slowly, contentment in every line of its posture. Around it, the canopy fills with similar scenes, birds finding roosts, mammals seeking dens, the diurnal world preparing to yield to night. The capuchins claim their branches, family groups clustering close. The alpha takes the highest position, last to sleep, first to wake. Below him, mothers settle with infants tucked against them, older juveniles finding spots between adults, the whole troop a tight unit against the dark. Twilight deepens, turning the forest blue. Fireflies begin their displays, hundreds of bioluminescent signals creating a galaxy among the understory. Each flash is communication, courtship, the continuation of species through light itself. A night monkey emerges from its den, large eyes perfectly adapted to see what others cannot. This nocturnal primate begins its hunt as the capuchins end their day, the forest operating in shifts, every hour claimed by different life. The last capuchin settles, a juvenile finally still after a day of endless motion. Its breathing deepens, evens, joins the collective rhythm of the sleeping troop. Above them, the canopy whispers with wind. Below them, the forest continues its ancient cycles. And all around them, the Amazon breathes, alive, eternal, waiting for tomorrow's light to begin again.
Dawn light filters through the emerald canopy and scattered beams, illuminating a mist that clings to the forest floor like breath. The air hangs heavy with moisture, every leaf dripping with the night's condensation. Above, in the mid-story branches of a Brazil nut tree, a troop of white-faced capuchin monkeys stirs from sleep, their dark eyes blinking open to greet the awakening forest. The alpha male rises first, his cream-colored face striking against his dark fur. He stretches each limb methodically, yawning to reveal impressive canines, then begins his morning patrol along a thick horizontal branch. 3 mothers cradle infants against their chests, the baby's tiny fingers gripping fur as their world gently rocks with each maternal breath. Below on the shadowed forest floor, a Brazilian tapir moves through the undergrowth with surprising grace despite its bulk. Its flexible snout investigates fallen fruit, nostrils flaring to sort the sweet from the spoiled. The black and white pattern of a juvenile still clings to its hindquarters, fading toward the solid brown of adulthood. The capuchin troop descends in stages, youngsters following their mothers down familiar routes through the vertical maze. One juvenile pauses to watch a Morpho Butterfly emerge from its chrysalis on a nearby leaf, the electric blue wings slowly pumping full of fluid, catching fragments of dawn light that make them glow like pieces of sky. A 3-toed sloth hangs motionless in the Cecropia tree, so still that algae grows green across its coarse fur. Only its head turns slowly, tracking the capuchin's noisy descent with dark eyes that betray an intelligence deeper than its reputation suggests. Moths flutter from its fur, part of an ecosystem unto itself. The forest floor comes alive with small movements. Leafcutter ants march in determined lines across fallen logs, each worker carrying a leaf fragment many times its size like a green sail. Their highway stretches 20 meters toward the massive mound of their colony, a network of underground chambers where fungus gardens feed millions. A capuchin mother reaches a lower branch and pauses, allowing her infant to climb onto her back. The baby's grip is instinctive, perfect, as she leaps to the next tree. Mid-flight, she plucks a walking stick insect from a branch, examining it briefly before dropping it, not food, just curiosity satisfied. Sunlight begins to penetrate deeper into the forest architecture. Golden rays illuminate a poison dart frog no larger than a thumbnail, its cobalt blue skin glistening with toxic moisture. It sits perfectly still on a bromeliad leaf, waiting for fruit flies to venture near. When one does, the frog's tongue flicks out faster than the eye can follow. The troop spreads across several trees now, foraging in the canopy's lower reaches. An older juvenile cracks open a palm nut using a rock he carries for this purpose, striking it against a branch with practiced precision. The technique was learned by watching, passed down through generations, a culture of tool use unique to this forest. A green iguana basks on a sun-dappled branch, its dewlap expanding and contracting with each breath. The reptile's stillness is absolute except for its eyes, which track everything with cold awareness. When a capuchin ventures too close, the iguana's head bobs in warning, a territorial display that requires no sound.
Near the forest floor, an agouti emerges from its burrow, whiskers twitching as it tests the air. This large rodent moves in quick bursts, freezing between movements to listen. It approaches a Brazil nut that fell weeks ago, gnawing through the woody outer shell with chisel-sharp incisors to reach the seeds within. The capuchin alpha calls out, a sharp whistle that carries through the trees. The troop responds with chattering acknowledgement, maintaining vocal contact as they spread across their territory. A mother grooms her infant, fingers working through the baby's fur with tender precision, removing debris and strengthening their bond with each gentle touch. High above, a harpy eagle perches motionless on a thick branch, its massive talons gripping bark deeply enough to leave permanent scars. The bird's crest feathers rise and fall with its focus, keen eyes scanning the canopy below for movement. The capuchins know the silhouette, this danger, and instinctively move closer to the thicker branches where escape routes multiply. A Jesus Christ lizard streaks across the surface of a small stream, its feet moving so fast they dimple the water without breaking through. It reaches the opposite bank in seconds, scrambling up a tree trunk where it freezes, becoming just another patch of bark-colored shadow. The forest floor reveals its intricate architecture in the growing light. Buttress roots rise like cathedral walls, creating alcoves and chambers where smaller creatures shelter. A coral snake glides between these spaces, its bands of red, yellow, and black bright even in the dim light, a warning that evolution has made impossible to ignore. Two juvenile capuchins engage in play, wrestling on a horizontal branch with absolute trust in their grip. They tumble and grab, mouths open in what could only be laughter if we could hear it. An adult watches nearby, patient guardian ensuring the youngsters don't venture beyond safety's edge. A kinkajou sleeps curled in a tree hollow, its prehensile tail wrapped around its body like a blanket. Only the tip of its nose is visible, twitching occasionally as it dreams through the daylight hours. This nocturnal mammal has chosen its den well, hidden, secure, perfectly positioned for tonight's hunt. Sunbeams strengthen, transforming the forest into a cathedral of light and shadow. Dust motes dance in the golden columns, each particle a tiny world unto itself. A rufous motmot perches on a low branch, its long tail feathers swaying like a pendulum as it watches for insects disturbed by the capuchin's movements above. The alpha male finds a fruiting fig tree, its branches heavy with ripening bounty. He calls to the troop with a specific vocalization, food discovered, come share. Within moments, capuchins fill the tree, selecting fruit with discerning touches, eating some, dropping others, inadvertently planting tomorrow's forest with each discarded seed. Below, a peccary family roots through the leaf litter, their snouts turning over decomposing vegetation in search of tubers and fallen fruit. The adults move methodically while two striped piglets stay close, learning which scents mean food and which mean danger. Their small tusks are just beginning to show. A fer-de-lance coils in the shadows, perfectly camouflaged against the leaf litter. Only its heat-sensing pits move, scanning for the warmth signature of passing prey. This ambush predator has patience measured in hours, willing to wait motionless until opportunity presents itself with mathematical certainty. The morning advances toward midday. Humidity rises, wrapping the forest in warmth that feels almost liquid. A group of Scarlet Macaws erupts from the canopy, their raucous calls echoing through the trees as they wheel overhead in pairs, brilliant red and blue against the green backdrop. They're heading to a clay lake miles distant, a daily pilgrimage for minerals their fruit diet lacks. A Capuchin mother discovers a wasp nest, but instead of fleeing, she watches it intently. When she determines the wasps are dormant in the heat, she carefully extracts larvae, eating the protein-rich morsels while avoiding the adults. Intelligence meeting opportunity, risk calculated and accepted. An emerald tree boa drapes across a branch like a living vine, its scales catching light in patterns of green and gold. The snake's head rests motionless on its own coils, tongue flicking occasionally to taste the air for information. What passes below, what might be food, what represents threat. The understory reveals its secret gardens. Heliconias thrust up like torches, their red and yellow bracts holding water where tiny poison dart frog tadpoles develop, each bromeliad a private nursery. Hummingbirds hover at the flowers, their wings invisible blurs as they drink nectar and inadvertently transfer pollen. A giant anteater ambles along the forest floor, its magnificent tail held aloft like a flag. The creature's elongated snout swings left and right, searching for the chemical signature of ant colonies. When it finds a nest, massive claws tear through wood in seconds, and a tongue longer than its head flicks in and out, harvesting hundreds of insects with each pass. Two capuchins engage in mutual grooming on a sunny branch, their social bond reinforced with each gentle pick through fur. One finds a tick and removes it with practiced fingers, examining it briefly before dropping it to the forest floor far below. Trust and cooperation, the currencies that bind primate societies. A trogon sits motionless in the mid-canopy, its iridescent green back and brilliant red breast, making it look like something carved from jewels. Only its head moves, tracking a caterpillar's slow progress along a branch. When the distance is perfect, the bird launches, snatches its prey, and returns to the same perch in a fluid motion that barely disturbs the leaves. The forest floor's leaf litter shifts and rustles with constant small movements. A tarantula emerges from its burrow, its body covered in russet hairs that sense vibrations through the air. It moves deliberately across open ground, hunting for crickets and other invertebrates, its 8 legs creating a rhythm like drumming fingers.